If there is something we know about the Landgraabs is that they have money. They have all money. They've had money for years and years and years. Actually, the first time the Landgraabs appear in The Sims is in SimCity 3000, which is a game from 1999. So the Landgraabs have been in the Sims franchise for 25 years. There are not many families that can say the same. So there's no reason to give the Landgraabs this ugly mansion. I don't know who designed this, but this was not it. Like, when I first saw this mansion, I was like, I know what they're going for. Like, this kind of like modern, square, big windows thing, but no, it's not working. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna give the Landgraabs the mansion they deserved. And for this, I actually use, obviously, inspiration and an actual real house floor plan because, well, it was too much, it was too complicated. And I find that actually using a floor plan makes it much easier. So what I do when I use a floor plan is I place some items to kind of give me an idea of the scale of things. So if in the floor plan you see like a window or a table, I calculate like, okay, that table is like 4 squares of the grid, or that window is 2 squares of the grid, and I just go with that for the rest of the house. And that actually helped me a lot to keep it like true to size, more or less. Obviously, it's a video game, it's The Sims, so there are a lot of allowances that I made for myself, especially after you do the first kind of like shell of the house. After that, I'm like, okay, this is free for all. So let me tell you about the Landgraabs. In the Landgraab family, at the moment, there is Nancy, who is the actual Landgraab. Then there is Jeffrey, who marries into the Landgraabs, and there is also Malcolm, who is the son of Jeffrey and Nancy. It's funny because Jeffrey is a policeman, while Nancy is actually in the crime business. So the Landgraabs' money, you know, they have a lot of businesses, and a lot of that money comes from places that maybe they are not the most legal. And the Landgraabs love money. Like, you can see Nancy, she will love to shower with money, she will love to sleep in money, she will love to pretend to talk on the phone with money. And actually, I had to put these animations in because I have never played with this bolt, and I think it's absolutely hilarious that the Sims can do that. And you know, my Sims, when I play legacy games, they always end up having lots of money anyway, so I'm like, okay. Because I end up having all that money, 9,999,000, and I don't even know how to say that number, but those are too many simoleons for me to have. So it's good to have a place where I can storage the money and, you know, sleep in it and, you know, pretend to shower with it. It could also work as a, you know, manifestation technique. If I see my Sims doing that enough, maybe I get that bolt one day. Or maybe not. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be like Nancy, that's for sure. And there is also one more Landgraab in the world, actually, in Oasis Spring. This is a Johnny Zest, who lives in this house. Well, it's not really a house, it's more like a caravan. And he, according to the story, the bio, it says that he was disowned by the Landgraabs because he wanted to pursue a career in comedy. I actually really like Johnny Zest. I think he's a really cool character. And it's funny to think that he was disowned. Unfortunately, the story is not very well developed in The Sims 4 because when you enter the game, Johnny doesn't have any relationships and he has no... if you go into the family tree, you can't see any relationship with the Landgraab, so you don't really know what it is. But I am pretty sure, and I can say I am 99% sure that he is the son of Nancy and Jeffrey. And why do I know this? I know this because a few months ago, there was an event in London for the For Rent expansion pack. So there was like a special event where you could go. They created this immersive experience in the center of London. I've uploaded a short about it. It was really fun. It was insane. It was mental to go there. It was like actually walking in the Sims 4 and like experiencing Sims 4 in real life. So basically what they did, they created this real estate office called Landgraabs and Sons. And look, actually, I got a card from that. It's Geoffrey Landgraab, real estate agent. It was super cool. So they were all there. It was Nancy, it was Jeffrey, and it was Malcolm. And then in a table, there was also Johnny Zest. And he kind of like was trying to make funny jokes, and you could see how Nancy was like, I don't know who that is, like, I don't like him. The actors were fantastic. It was such a good experience. I've uploaded a short about it. I don't know if I've said this. I think I have, but if I haven't, I've uploaded a short about it. You can watch it in my shorts. Anyway, the experience was insane. You got to talk to them, you got to walk around. They show you like, you know, different houses for rent pack. Obviously, it was a state agent. And it does matches with the story of the Landgraabs. I mean, the name says it all, right? Landgraabs. They love to grab land. And in SimCity 3000, they had the Landgraabs Industries. They own several buildings in the SimCity story and in The Sims as well. So it did match the story. And it was super fun because when I was leaving the event, I got to talk to Nancy and she was so fun. She was fantastic. And she was like, you know what, Andres, I really like you. I was wondering, are you interested in pursuing a different type of career? Something like that, something along those lines. I have another short with this part of the event as well. So basically she told me that if I was interested in pursuing a different career, there was something she could offer me, but she didn't want her husband to find out. So she gave me this other card, which is like dark. There is a telephone number there, but I don't want to show you because I thought it was fantastic. I was like, absolutely interested. She was like, you know, it might involve leaving your house at very late at night, dressed all in black with a baklava. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. I'll do that. She was really funny. So anyway, when I left the place and I was almost at home, I was like, you know, this looks like a real telephone number. I'm going to call. And she picked up and she was like, oh, hi, Andres. I was waiting for your call or something along those lines. And she was telling me how she was going to send a private car at 12 at night. And I just had to be ready, dressed all in black with a baklava, waiting for the car downstairs. And they will just pick me up and we will leave the city. And I think it was like rob a bank and then we will fly away. And we will live together and have our life in a private island or some sort of story. It was so funny. It was so funny. It was so good. I was impressed. Like the actors were so good. The actor keeps like jumping and cheering and doing push-ups, like literally acting like Sims. I'm sure they ended up like quite tired by the end of that event. Anyway, unfortunately, the for rent pack didn't really live up to the expectations. So that's sad, but the event was amazing. So Sims team, amazing job. And you know what? I'm going to maybe give here a bit of an unpopular opinion, but I actually love the for rent pack. Like, I think it's a great concept and I don't think it was executed poorly. I think it might have been not properly tested. Like, but I think the concept and the mechanic of it, I think is really good. I wish there was a bigger sense of community, but I guess it's difficult because of how the Sims engine runs or whatever. Anyway, going back to the build, I haven't talked much about the inspiration for this house, or what I wanted to go for is like, you know, Selling Sunset, the shows in Netflix. I was thinking that sort of vibe, you know, when you see these LA huge celebrity houses, they're kind of like minimal, a lot of art, a lot of bigger spaces. They have big windows, a lot of light, and they feel like kind of fresh and really nice big houses for a modern city like Los Angeles. And I envisioned this house to having this sort of, you know, formal living room when if you receive people, you can kind of like entertain them, sit down for a drink. There is a bar there, a piano, some books to show like, you know, we actually read. And then it has like a more private area when they can enjoy family time together, watch a movie, and so on. I used probably every single pack that I have. Like, I had not restrictions whatsoever when building this house. I did feel that I was drawn to a lot of wood or little touches of wood and a lot of gold and kind of like clean lines. So I was trying to be very modern and intentional with the furniture that I was choosing. I will say though, when it came to decorating the rooms, I ended up using all sort of things. Like there is a whole butler room that looks more classic. And I think, you know, this is the same. It was gonna look all very like the same if I only kept the minimalistic vibes, just because I don't think we have enough furniture to really have that many different rooms all in one style. For the kitchen, I really wanted to use the Chef Hassel pack. I love this kitchen. I think it looks amazing. I do feel like the kitchen has a bit of a weird shape. I really wanted to have that big island in the middle, but then I found myself like, oh, they have that like formal dining area, but they don't have like a dining area in the house. So I ended up putting like a big table in the kitchen. I don't think people this rich eat in the kitchen. I think probably it's the people who work for them eat in the kitchen. But you know, it's The Sims and there's not that much of a, well, that kind of behavior. I mean, there are snobs, that's for sure. The Landgraabs are snobs. So in real life, they will not have lunch or dinner or breakfast in the kitchen. They will probably have it in the formal dining room, to be honest. But you know how the Sims are, they just sit wherever they feel like it for no reason. So this is like the private living room area that I was thinking. So here I, put a big television. I'm sorry because it took me 15 hours to finish this build. 15 hours. So this is like insane. I cut a big chunk of the video because it was too much. I don't think I show almost anything from the second floor. For this speed video, I was trying to reduce the amount of footage so you don't see it going so fast, because it is going very fast, and I know it's very hard to focus, so I'm sorry for that. I mean, I would love to do more big buildings like this, but because this is not my full-time job and I record in my free times, in the weekends, sometimes after work during the week, I have to build these videos over time, and it's really hard to keep it quick to then make a video work for YouTube. So I don't know, I need to see how I do this, because I do want to build bigger builds. I think they're fun, I think they're more challenging, I think they help me like improve. Oh my god, these stairs are an absolute nightmare. The stairs in the back of the house for the garden, they kept disappearing every time I was resetting the game or something. I don't know what I was doing, but they kept disappearing. So we'll go into live mode in a while and we'll do a full tour. We will upload the build to the gallery to make sure the stairs are there. Oh, this is the secret bowl that I was talking about. I love it because it has like a secret door to get in. I actually built this while I was live on Twitch and it was so cool. I love the help from everybody. By the way, I go live on Twitch if you are interested. My handle is the same, Andy's playing, but with an underscore at the end. And I go live on Twitch on Tuesdays and Fridays at 6:30 p.m. UK time. I understand many of you are not in the UK or in Europe, so if at least you would consider giving me a follow on Twitch, I will be immensely grateful to you, because actually I'm very close to become an affiliate. I need 50 subscribers, so that's not even subscribers, sorry, followers. So 50 followers, it shouldn't be that hard. You might think. Well, it's actually, not that easy. That's why it's such a low number. But yeah, if you are watching this video and you like my content, I would really appreciate if you consider going into Twitch and following my channel there. I also have a second YouTube channel called Extra and Displaying, where I upload every Twitch live that I do. So if you want to catch it up at a later stage, they're there. Some of them are a bit more quiet, especially on Tuesdays when I'm building. I try to keep it more quiet. Also, it's after work, it's a school night, so I just want to chill a little bit, play a little bit, and then go to bed. So Fridays, usually I do more like gameplay and stuff like that, and it's quite fun. I enjoy it a lot, and I take a lot of recommendations from the chat, which is what I play in the chat. I mean, I am playing at the end of the day, but it's always fun to have input from the people who are watching. Anyway, this is the butler room and this is the butler bathroom. As you can see, I mean, it is a huge bathroom. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the butlers. You could literally have a guest living there. You might not have a butler at all in this house. So I call it the butler room because it's on the ground floor and it's kind of like wood and classic. But also on the first floor actually is the main bedroom, which is this one. which is Nancy's and Jeffrey's bedroom. It has like a whole spa area, a huge toilet area, and another one smaller. I didn't know how to, I wish we could put walls on half a tile, but we can't. And this room has an amazing walk-in wardrobe, and in that walk-in wardrobe is the secret door to the vault. So only Jeffrey and Nancy have access to it. Probably only Nancy, because this is mostly her money, Jeffrey is actually quite a decent dude. He's a policeman. He's a good husband, a good person. He loves family life. And apparently he makes the nicest babies, according to reports online. So if you ever want to have a baby in The Sims and you don't want, one of those disgrace faces that sometimes you get in The Sims 4, destroy this marriage and marry Jeffrey. Apparently that he makes a good baby. I was very tempted to use this very ornate furniture for the bedroom. But then I remember this was meant to be a minimalistic, sort of like clean lines build. So I was like, okay, no, hold on, go back. And I used that black furniture from the luxury stuff bag, which actually works really well. It's really nice with the black and gold. And then upstairs in that kind of like gallery area, I did that, like an art gallery sort of feeling. I see these guys as being art collectors and they will want to show it off. There's also a whole gym upstairs, obviously. There is a sauna room. There is a massage room. They can do yoga. They can do everything upstairs. And also, I ended up doing a basement as well. I will show you the basement when we go into live mode and I show you around the house. But yeah, I thought like these people have everything. They have a club. They have a bar. They have a cinema. They also have a bowling alley. I mean, they are the Landgraabs. They're probably one of the richest families in The Sims 4. So they deserve it. No, they will get it. They will have it. They will just get it. This is Malcolm's room, so I tried to do it a bit more like teenage vibes. I gave him his own office. I thought like, walk-in wardrobe, but then I thought, no, I think he will have like a good computer, some games in the room. Again, for this bedroom, I tried to do something a bit more modern, but I had to kind of like revert back to a few more like neutral colors. The green wasn't working for me. I do like how it turned out at the end. I did put a lot of clutter around just to make it lived in, and I did use that very gaudy looking furniture for the bathroom. I don't know why. I feel like I had to use it at least in one small bathroom, and I thought, he is a snob, so I thought it suits him to have that sort of furniture, but maybe it doesn't. Anyway, you can always change it. We are coming to the end of this speed build. I am going to jump into the game so I can show you the house around. Here we are in game. As you can see, the house is already huge in the map. So this is the end result of the mansion on the outside. It is humongous. Something that I forgot to mention before is that I tried to add some like eco lifestyle features, because I would imagine these people have, oh my god, look at that. How cool is that? How cool is that? Did you see Jeffrey? That's so cool. Anyway, as I was saying, I would imagine these people have money to maintain a house ecologically. I mean, and it will save them money, which is what they will care about, or anyway, made them money because they can sell the electricity. And this is the back. Like, I love it. I love this area here. I love the balcony on the second floor for the bedroom. I try to give them skills around, even though they might not be very artistic people themselves. So let's start with the patio, actually. As you can see, they have a huge swimming pool, lots of areas to sunbathe. I would imagine they throw epic parties in here. They have a hot tub, and they have like a full barbecue area here as soon as you leave the kitchen area, and a bar for those parties. And then they have a covered sitting area where they can sit and chat in summer or winter, because Oasis Spring is quite warm. Who's calling? Sorry. Yeah, sorry. No, thank you. I'm not playing. And then they have this sitting area here. if they want some sun or fresh air. Also, I love where this house is, like, look at the views. I think one of the most challenging things for me was to create these areas. It does mimic this real life sort of building, but I've never done anything like this in The Sims, you know? I'm quite a vanilla builder. Like, I just build with what the game gives you. Anyway, this is like the grand entrance for the house. The house is super modern, big windows, very sunny outside and inside, and this is the entrance area, a little entrance area here into the formal living room. So this is more like for visits, you know, to receive guests. As I was saying, a lot of art in every wall. There is also the formal dining room with more art. I love the idea of having these fireplaces here opposite each other, and this being like the chimney, and it goes into the second floor and then it goes outside. I love to do things that make sense in the game. So anyway, to the right of this is the kitchen area, as I was saying, with the dining area here. I just put this here because I thought, you know, it will be closer. They also can sit in the stools, so that's fine. And there is a small bathroom for near the kitchen. There is a lot of bathrooms in this house. And then to the right, there is the family room where they can come watch movies, play games, you know, feed the fish. Do you have to, oh yeah, you actually have to purchase fish. Oh, that's cool. I've never played with this. They can come, sit, read a book, listen to some music, and they also have the laundry area. I know it's weird. But in the real plans of this house, this is like the garage. Obviously, there's no point in having a garage in The Sims 4. So I thought, you know what? It is the family area of the house, so it's fine. It's fine. There is another small bathroom here. I thought this would be a good bathroom for visitors. And then there is a library, but it's also like an office. So I thought this would be a good place to conduct business without the people walking too much around the other parts of the house. So it's quite serious, and it has this sort of art and plaques related to their careers. Art everywhere again. Oh, I used the same painting here and there. No. I thought that was Nancy, and I thought that was a cool touch. Like, this is Nancy here. I will keep Nancy here, so if she is conducting business, they know who's the boss. And then here I can do something a bit more abstract. I might have used that one in other parts of the build, but we'll risk it. And then here you have the butler room, as I was saying, the butler bedroom with a huge bathroom, and the main bedroom. And the main bedroom is like dark black gold with two walk-in wardrobes. I thought this could be Jeffrey's and this could be Nancy's. Like, look at all her handbags, Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Prada, Dior, everything. She's got it, everything. She owns everything. Opulence. And here there is the secret door to what? The vault. Oh my god, Nancy, you left the vault open. Why don't you come play with the money and then close the vault? Oh, simoleons in vault, 120,000 simoleons. You see? I'm telling you, they're rich. Look at her with her Juicy Couture outfit, pretending to talk on the phone again. Sorry, I love these. These animations are hilarious. Anyway, moving on. Nancy, close and lock, close and lock. Also, two doors. Like, she's not playing. You know, she knows there's money here. What else? If you want to come to the second floor, you have to use these stairs. And the second floor, there is this huge gallery, as I was saying, because I wanted the living room to be like open. So there is this gallery with some art, and there is more open in here. So there is sun coming, natural light, I would say, coming through this skylight. I love this in this house. I really, really like it. To the left, you have like the gym area, the massage area, and then an extra room with a big bathroom. This can be for guests, but I guess they could also live here, Nancy and Jeffrey, and a walk-in wardrobe. Although this is not enough for Nancy, this walk-in wardrobe. It's cute though. And this bedroom, you know, woods, pink tones, with a nice balcony here for them to enjoy. So I think this part of the house is quite nice. In this side, there is another extra bedroom, like for guests, and on the other side, there is Malcolm's bedroom, which is more like a teenager room, but obviously a teenager with money. So there is a bit of clutter around, some movie posters I thought, you know, sneakers, gym equipment that he will probably never use, but also a huge television to play video games, because why wouldn't he? They're very rich. And he also has his own little office with, you know, more like gaming stuff, books, just stuff like, you know, balls, maybe some instruments. I'm sure he got like private classes of all sorts of instruments growing up, and a gorgeous, very understated bathroom like he will want. And then in the basement, which you can access through here, in the build speed video, this was not open because I decided to do the basement afterwards, because I thought, when am I gonna be able to actually have a movie theater, a games room, a club, or a disco, and then a bowling alley? I just thought that, you know what, this is the time to use all these packs that I have and I don't really use that much. So this is it really. Let me speed up and watch it at night because it's actually quite pretty. So look at this, the lights are going down. Let me turn all auto lights, no, turn on all lights. I think that looks really pretty. So this will be the front during the night, and then we have the back. Tell me that you don't love the vibes. I mean, it might not be your type of building, like these super modern houses. It's not everyone's cup of tea. I definitely appreciate them for what they are. Maybe not my favorite type of build, but I can appreciate them. Anyway, let me go back to daytime, and I'm going to upload this build into the gallery. A Floista Mansion, I will call this a Floista Mansion version 2, because it's not a renovation for sure. And it's 5 bedroom, 7 bathrooms, I think. The value is 615,000 simoleons, so you have to have some money to put this in the game. And I'm sharing this lot to the gallery. Well, there you go, that's it. This was for sure one of my most ambitious builds ever. Let me know what you guys think, if you like it. And please consider following me on Twitch and help me reach that affiliate level. I will appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!